Hello everyone. This is an introductory video to the upcoming Frequency Bones Summer Music Connection 13. And this is called The Science of Music as a Living Thing. And my feeling is this particular series will be even a deeper look for people to see not only where I'm coming from, okay, but how it's related to the natural laws that govern everything, including your brass playing, including music. And so, for those of you who were on last year, with looking at music and nature, music in the natural worlds, this will even be a bit of a deepening from that. And my reason for doing this, okay, is this is what's actually moving in me. Now, I understand it's not going to be for everybody. It's not going to be for those who just want to, come on, let's get down to trombone playing or brass playing, and how do I take a breath and how do I make my corners stronger? I'm sure a lot of that will come into this series, but how it relates to life and a living art, okay? Which, as you know, this is something, for those who know me, has been working through me for a long time. Well over 3 decades. 4, actually. And I can't really do it any other way. Oh, I can. If someone 10 years old is coming to study with me, you know, I haven't had a 10-year-old in a while. I'm not going to say, now, let's talk about music as a living thing right away. You know why? We won't have to. We won't actually have to talk about it, because they'll probably have less stuff in the way. And everything that we'll do will have a certain engaging value in it. Feeling that air go into the lungs and out into an interface of an instrument, for example. So that feeling of newness for that particular kind of person is going to be very much alive. They're not going to come from a place of predetermined ideas. Now, what's interesting about studying science and art, right? Well, I put music as art. Music is one of the arts, obviously. There's many different kinds of arts. But when it's really art, in my mind, it has a quality that's living and breathing and not stuck. Now, in all fairness, in the process and discovery that a very interested person in not only art, but an interested person in their life, using art as a means to find out more about themselves, find out more about the world around them, and to discover the various aspects of meaning in all of this. Whoops! The light and the dark. I usually have trouble getting light. Now I have too much. So, let me just a second. Let's see, maybe that'll help. Yeah, that helps a little bit. And so my feeling about this is there's so much talk about science these days. And people are starting to wonder, well, what's true science? And people are arguing over it. And people argue about what's great art and what is not great art, and what's good trombone playing or good brass playing or good instrumental playing, and what isn't. And so then we get into the realms of opinion, don't we? And what's fascinating, I found this quote from Hippocrates. And it says, "Science is the father of knowledge, but opinion breeds ignorance." Well, that's something to think about for a while. So someone can have an opinion, but what is that opinion connected to? Is it just self-serving? And if it is, a clearer, cleaner understanding from where that person who was saying that, where they'd be coming from, they said, look, this is my opinion as it relates to me. Fair enough. Not, this is my opinion, and now that's the fact. Just because I say it means it's true, and because I can talk. Yes, everyone has a right to talk. Absolutely, everyone's a right to their view and putting that together in a way that makes sense to them. But what if we really get into science? Science, truth, and art. And that's going to be some of the core of what this summer is going to be about. So if you want to sit back and be at a, there's a lot of low brass festivals going on, and some online and some you can travel to. I'm sure they'll be talking about a lot of different things than this. But within that, there'll be wafts of art. Certainly. There'll be wafts of technique and mechanics. Science gets involved in that, doesn't it? And there'll be aspects of, is it in tune or out of tune? Which in a certain way is a truth based in a relative system of what we consider to be in tune, pitch-wise, according to our Western developed scales, for example. Now, I'm not knocking any of these things. Please don't take me wrong. But I'm at this point in my life, and I've never been afraid to actually state what I feel about things in this way. It's getting worse, which means better for me. Other people might not find that. But I'm not trying to appeal to everybody in that way. My goal isn't to be popular. My goal is to say and transmit into the mass consciousness what is genuine in me. And because I want to tune to truth, I'm also seeing, well, what else lines up with truth? It seems like actual science would. But here's the thing. We can only see as much truth as we're developed to see. And or want to see. Who said it would be comfortable all the time? And think about art. I remember learning more about Shostakovich at one time and getting really kind of freaked. I knew there was an intensity and a pain in it, but sometimes it'd be overwhelmed by just what appeared to be this incredible joy and upliftment, and plus so much fun to play. At least for me as a trombonist. I love Shostakovich Festival Overture. And the symphonies. But the symphonies, when I started to feel the other meanings behind them, started to get difficult to play. I just couldn't say, here I am just blowing and having a great time and sending the sound out there. I could not think that. There was a lot more to that. And that was true. That's truth. That's genuineness wrapped up in a medium within a particular style that maybe just would be pleasing to everyone and exciting. But there's a lot more going on in that music. So, science, truth, art. This is what we're going to get into. And with this, I think we'll see the very clear truth of the incredible dichotomy that goes through all of life. And one great example is same and different. They seem to be so opposite. But for example, you can have one kind of food, and someone can make eggs a certain way. And you know it's eggs, but then someone makes it with other flavors, other ingredients, other ethnic influences. And yes, they're eggs, but boy, are they different. Haven't we all tried that with eggs, potatoes, different kinds of chocolate? These are vegetables, but there's different kinds of vegetables and different kinds within the different kinds. Yet they're the same and different. Just like human beings, just like any animal. There's many different kinds of squirrels. Even though there might be the same kind of squirrel, they're different. They have different natures. You know, when you get a mouthpiece, you brass players, you get a mouthpiece. Yes, I want a Bach 5G. Okay? Or 1C trumpet, you know? Wow, I thought these were supposed to be the same. But they're not. So same and different is something that's a part of life and is a truth. So I want to get to the point where that ring of what's truth resonates with the overtones of agreement with everyone. Okay? Not in any kind of like, do we agree? No forcing people to do anything. It's, can we be in the realms of discovery, moving out of our own personal opinion and trying to find other words for, here's how it, for example, here's how it personally sits in me at this present time. That's honest. Because any science that's actually science, the scientist knows they have to be ready for the next discovery. And not just, this is it, the science is settled. Come on. No, it's not. It's not, it's relative to certain conditions all the time. And yet, you might find certain things that are the same. And then you might find that same thing takes on something different. So let's be into the truth and see the relationship between science, art, and truth And in these, we will see what the science of music as a living thing actually is. And we'll be discovering different territories. Some of the things I'll be talking about is, what is a living thing? Science is a living thing. Science and truth. Music is accuracy, and accuracy is music. Music and science, the influence of mass consciousness. The personal science, that's right. The societal science, sympathetic resonance, a deeper understanding. And understanding the overlays of the overlay system as a living thing, and much more. So not to get overwhelmed, but just be in the flow of what's happening with it, and let's see what we can get up to. And I hope to see a lot of you there. The date will be determined. I'm going to send out an email. And for those who hear this, please send me an email. Okay? And to determine a time around the last week of June. Maybe starting actually on June 21st that week. Okay? So this is the first in a series of YouTube videos discussing upcoming Zoom meetings with those who are interested with Frequency Bone Ceremony Music Connection 13, the science of music as a living thing. Hope to see you.